In 2001, an article in Entertainment Weekly sparked my interest in a show that I had never watched before. Although it was a pop culture phenomenon, it never really piqued my interest. Until this article, because this show was doing a musical episode, and I'm a sucker for musicals. So I tuned in, and I was hooked. Hooked, hooked, hooked. Welcome to Small Screen Maniac. I'm Constance Miller. The episode was titled Once More with Feeling, and it came from the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. As I said, I'd never watched the show before in my life, but I had to watch this episode, and boy am I glad that I did. I was bowled over at how maddeningly genius this episode was. And to date, it is probably my favorite episode of Buffy ever. Ever. Now, not knowing any of the history of the show, it didn't really seem to make a difference as far as enjoying the episode. Everything was played out pretty clear, and everything that happened in the musical numbers spelled everything out, and it was so just incredibly enjoyable and passionate and expertly done, and most of the musical performances were done just tremendously well, and most everybody had a really good singing voice. There were a few that really didn't, but it was played to the strengths of those who had the strengths and those who didn't. It didn't make it seem like they were a weak link, and I appreciated that. The overall narrative of the episode played breaking out into song as something organic and natural. And even though it was silly and they kind of were perplexed by how it was happening, it was still something that was organically happening. And even though it was bizarre and weird, it just played out. And they couldn't resist it. And when you find out exactly what really happened and why it was happening, it all kind of makes sense. And at the climax, we find out what happens and the reason why it happens. And the big bad is defeated, and we find out that the reason why it happens is just because there was a little girl who wanted some happiness in the world. So, that being said, everything goes back to normal, and normal being what is normal for the world of Buffy, well, I had to find out more about what that normal was. So, Once More with Feeling was a launching pad into the world of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And so, with the help of somebody else in my life at the time, I started from the beginning and worked my way through the entire series. And it was a joyous ride. There were some bumps along the way, but it was fantastic, and I enjoyed it so much. And even though the show has been kind of tarnished by the bad reputation of Joss Whedon, I still hold Buffy very close to my heart. And I really need to own the whole series, like a hard copy of the whole series. I did that with Angel. I ended up selling it because everything has been digital. But I think I need to get hard copies of those back in my collection, as well as with Buffy. I think it's important. So, overall, Once More with Feeling it's just phenomenal. I own the soundtrack, and I also own this wonderful book. It's got script, it's got story behind the scenes. It's got sheet music for all the songs. It's got pictures from the episode in full color, as well as some concept art. This is a great companion book. I love the soundtrack, and the CD has actually been overplayed. It probably doesn't play completely through without skipping. I should probably get a digital copy of that. But yes, I can't believe that it's like 22 years old. Oh, it's unbelievable. But one of the greatest episodes in television history in my book. So that is my little rant and review of Once More with Feeling from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let me know what you think about the episode in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Also, if you are able to help support this channel, you can either buy me a cup of coffee or support my channel via Patreon, following the links in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Love and light to you all.